Let's get started with today's warm-up. Nice and easy. Feet apart, so bring up one knee, then the other knee. Getting your body moving. Time to wake up. See if you can get your forearms to touch your leg. Right? But not really hard. Don't go whacking your leg into your forearm, but it's easier, or it's a better metric than putting your hands down. Oh, I'm touching my hands on my knees. Forearms, a little bit harder. That being said, let's bring our feet back like you're kicking yourself right in the behind. You don't actually have to kick yourself. Maybe like, I miss being able to do martial arts in person. No one's kicked my butt in a while. Well, then you can do that for yourself. But otherwise, just moving, right? Nice and simple. Getting those juices flowing as we get going. All right, back to knees in front. Good, maybe a little bit faster for a few seconds. Don't forget to breathe. It's a big part of warming up. Good, and now feet back like you're kicking yourself again. A few seconds of that easy stuff. You can kind of shake out your arms when you're doing this one. Just get your body ready. You'll see stuff like this before like a fighter gets in the ring, like shaking out. Swimmers do it before they jump in the pool. It's like, I'm gonna go. So are you in just a minute. All right, arms out. We're doing small circles. This is great for shoulders. One of the things I talk about in class is how you don't hurt yourself. I'm a big fan of students not hurting themselves. And one of the ways you do that is you properly take care of your joints. Let's circle the other way, right? And by warming up those areas, raising your body temperature, getting some blood flow, you increase the elasticity of the cartilage. So you don't end up with shoulder damage. Good, all right, we're gonna switch to big circles now. Personally, I like to do this particular one on any day where I'm gonna throw punches. Right, those small circles and these big circles. Go the other way. All right, so if you're like, you know what? I'm gonna do punching today. Maybe before you start doing some rounds of hitting a wave master, just do a few circles. Get the blood pumping and moving. Good, and shake it out just a little bit. Okay, from here we're gonna do some shoulder shrugs. We're gonna bring our shoulders around. It really doesn't matter which way they're going. You go forward or backwards, because in a second, we're just gonna switch it. Good, and matter of fact, let's switch it, right? It's also a good thing to do if you're doing forms, self-defense, basically anything where you're using your arms in an explosive and violent manner, right? Which is kind of something that you would want to do if you're doing martial arts well. Tend to be explosive and somewhat violent, yet peaceful. It's an odd mix. Good, all right, shake it out a little bit more. Okay, so we're gonna use those legs. We're gonna do some squats now. Listen to your knees, you might only go this far, right? That's fine, you're just kind of waking up those muscles. Maybe you're going deeper. That's fine too. The big thing you have to do, keep your heels glued to the floor. If you're letting your heels pop up, the bones in your lower legs start to shift, and next thing you know, you've done hurt yourself. Don't do that. We get two more. And one more. Good. All right, let's get some kicking in. We're in our fighting stance. We're gonna start with knees. Nice and easy knees. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Keep going. 4. Now, for this, 5. You can do any knee you want, right? Maybe you want to do like a upward knee, forward knee. If you don't know the difference, just wiggling your knee, right? The big thing is we're just lifting up, and we're transitioning from kind of that, just picked up your knee earlier, the first thing we did, to more of doing it from a fighting stance. Switch your legs, same idea. This involves a little bit more because you're twisting, turning, throwing with a little bit more momentum. And if you're not warm, momentum becomes a little bit more dangerous. But for us, we're probably a little warm at this point, so we can do this, right? you want to be crazy, you're like, I want to throw front kicks, I want to throw axe kicks, fine. But for me, I'm just doing my knees. Couple more. One more. Good. All right, so we're going to do a little bit of side-to-side movement. When you move to a side, throw a strike. Right? It doesn't matter what the strike is. It could be a knee, it could be a kick, it could be a punch. The important thing is strike forward. A lot of people, they twist, they go off to the side. And you can do that, but you can also hurt yourself when you do that. And that's not what we're trying to do. Right? So, whatever your movement is, we're just going side to side. Maybe you really feel like doing a lot of uppercuts. You do a lot of uppercuts. Maybe you want to do a lot of elbows. Do a lot of elbows. The important thing is we're just moving and we're working out those muscles that move our legs in and out, right? Which are super important for things like roundhouse kicks, side kicks, and like I said, just preventing injury when we're doing those things. All right, stop. We're going back to doing a few more squats. Get some blood pumping in our legs. Keep your heels glued to the floor. Ready, set, go. And again, we got the easy way, right? Keeping your heels on the floor. We got the deeper way, right? And if you're like, I'm fully warmed up, you want to make this harder, you want to start jumping, that's fine. But again, it's warm-ups. Don't go crazy during warm-ups. Right? We got all class ahead of us, so if you're doing this thing and you feel like, oh, I got some warmth in my legs, good. That's what we're shooting for. Like, oh, a little sweat in my brow. Yeah, all right. Enough of squats. We're gonna do a few more punches, right? We're gonna be doing just a simple punching combination. Jab, cross, step, switch. Jab, cross, step, switch. Go. Now, as you're doing this, I want you to be careful / aware of making sure you're not letting your arm overextend. Whenever we throw a strike, we never let the joint fully extend. So if I'm throwing punches, turn sideways here. My elbow isn't 100% extended, right? It's most of the way, right? And a lot of people say, I can't even see that it's bent. That's good, right? It's there, trust me. I can feel the difference, and you can probably too, especially if you've done like a million of these things. Good, okay. Now if you want, we can change this into a hop. 1, 2, hop. 1, 2, hop. I'll turn face you, right? Just get your body used to bouncing a little bit. Again, maybe not for everyone. Maybe you got, somebody sleeping downstairs and you don't want to jump. I respect that, right? Maybe your knees are a little bit bad. This isn't a bad one in terms of practicing landing soft on the balls of your feet instead of thudding down heels, which you'll feel go all the way up your body, right? It could, like I said, result in that kind of spike through your knee. Good, okay. We're done with that part of warm-ups. We're gonna do a little bit of stretching time and we get to it. All right, so pretty simple. One leg in front, one leg in back, just lean down. Now you can hear, right? Like, I can still talk, but it's a little breathy. That's kind of what you want when you do a warm-up. You're not like that point where you can't say a sentence, but if you're perfectly normal, maybe you need to go at a higher pace. Right? Bend that front knee, stand on up, switch. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see this one. One leg in front, one leg back, switch down. Again, doesn't matter which leg you're doing, as long as you're doing the other leg. Right? And just like before, we don't want this super duper straight. We want to feel the stretch right here in the middle of our hamstring, not behind your knee. If you feel it behind your knee, either you need to adjust and bend your front knee a little bit, or maybe this is just the wrong stretch for you. And if you've learned a million different ways to stretch your hamstring. Hopefully you found one that doesn't bother your knee, right? Then you can just do that. You don't have to do the exact same thing as me. Do what works for you. All right, a couple more stretches. We're gonna do one leg in front. One leg to the side, and we're gonna sit down to the side, like this, right? And we're trying to make sure we're keeping our knees apart. Okay, now from here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna crawl to one side. So I have both hands over towards one of my legs, keeping that knee apart. I'm gonna crawl over, one foot on either side of my leg. Then I'm just gonna come on back. And you feel this hit slightly different parts of your muscle. Maybe you find one spot you wanna stick at, right? Like maybe you're like, oh, I really feel this. I'll stay here for a couple of seconds. But don't linger too long right now, right? Because we're in the kind of early stages of class. Good. All right, from here, we're gonna pop over to the other side. And again, you can go at your own pace. Slow is better here. You don't want to be super fast. Crawl to one side. Crawl a little bit to the other side. And I actually felt this one the most when I was over here. And I could feel that kind of on the inside edge of my hamstring, which you'll notice as you're doing things like roundhouse kicks and side kicks. Good. All right. Come back to center. Come up easy. Shake it out. Okay. We're done with warm-ups. Let's get into the main part of class. We're going to be focusing in on a couple of the key footwork components for kata kick. Now, in particular, what we're going to focus on is what our kicking foot is doing in terms of what shape it is and how we're pointing it or flexing it. And then we're also going to work a little bit on what our base foot is doing. Now, to practice this, you're going to have a chair that you're going to put behind you. You could use something other than a chair, use a table, a bed, whatever. You want to kind of stand at the edge of it. I'll show you what I mean by that. I have my foot kind of even with the far side of the chair. So when I do my kick, right, because I'm going to do a roundhouse kick, I'm going to fall forward, I can land next to the chair. You don't want to be over here, where now when I go to kick, either I run into the chair or something like that, hurt myself, break the chair, knock it over, things like that. So you want to position yourself so your front foot is kind of even with what looks like the front foot of the chair. All right? So from here, all we're going to do is we're going to set ourselves up with our back towards the chair. You can use your hand on the chair for balance. We're really focusing on footwork today. So if you need to hold on to the chair for balance, but you slow down, that's a good thing. First thing we're going to do is we're just going to do our roundhouse kick. When we do our roundhouse kick, we're going to make sure that we're pointing our kicking foot, okay? And we can hold on to that chair for balance so we can kind of check to make sure our foot is pointed. We're pointing our ankle, we're pointing our toes, right? So we watch again, we're going to turn, hold on to the chair, kick, just like that. I'll show you one time from the side with the chair behind me, right? When I go to kick, you can see it, I have my hands on it, and this foot is pointed, not flexed. And again, it's pointing the ankle and the toe, not just pointing the toes and flexing the ankle. Okay, so we're gonna do a few of those together. Set yourself up, kick, hold it for a moment, and then we'll put it down in front. Ready, go. One, kick, hold it, and then put it down in front like we land closed in our form. We'll reset, we'll go again. Two, kick, hold it, good, and then land in front, and come on back, all right? Again, three, turn, kick, hold it. Make sure your foot is pointed, that's really important. Land in front, come back. Let's get two more in, kick, hold it, land in front. One more to go, ready, kick, hold it, can land in front, just like that. All right, now we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. If you have a chair that you can move, you can just move to the other side. Otherwise, you just kick the other direction, right? Set yourself up where your front foot is kind of even with the edge, the front edge. Ready? One, kick, make sure that's pointed, land in front. All right, let's keep going. We got four more. Turn, kick, hold it out there, check that roundhouse kick, land in front. 3, kick, hold it. Now this is one of the more common mistakes that people have on their kick, is their foot comes like this. Get that pointed, right? Very common, ends up hurting your foot, which I'm not a big fan of. Ready, kick. I just don't like it when students hurt themselves. I'm weird like that. Last time, point your toes, you woesies. Point your foot, hold it out, land in front, and come on back. Okay, so not a bad start for our roundhouse kick. We're gonna add to this. Bringing it back to the other side. Same basic idea. We're gonna do a roundhouse kick. We're not gonna hold it quite as long. We'll check to make sure it's pointed. Once you look that it's pointed, go ahead and put it down. Then we're going to add in the side kick. When we add in the side kick, we flex our foot, pulling our toes towards our face. Ready? 1, kick, check, and land. Bring your leg in, push it out, and you can see my foot is sideways, and I'm pulling my toes towards my face, which is what we want. You can put that down, and we can do it again. All right? So, quick hold on the roundhouse kick just to check it. Hold it a little longer on the side kick. Ready? Kick, quick, put it down, hold it. As you hold this, you might be like, you know, this is actually hard. It takes some strength. I know, that's why we're doing it. All right? Let's go. 3, turn, point your toes, land it down, bring it in, bring it out, and let's go back. Turning kick, hold it just for a second, bring it down, kick, hold it out for a little bit longer than just a second. Okay, one more together, then we got to do the other side. Ready? Kick, boom, hold it, good. Okay, I'm moving the chair to the other side. Maybe you are too. Maybe you're kicking the other direction. Don't matter too much. Here we go. Roundhouse kick, hold it for a second, put it down, side kick, hold it a little longer, and then come on back. Again, roundhouse kick, boom, land, kick, and put it back down. All right, 3 more, turning kick, put it down, push it out. Oh, my chair moved. Hopefully your chair doesn't move too much. Right? Kind of toss my balance there for a second. That's okay. Turning kick. Hold for a second. Put it down. Hold it for more than a second. Whoop. Lost my balance again. Bad chair or bad me. I don't know which one today. Again, roundhouse kick. Just for a second. Kick it out. Here's the side kick. Okay. Very nice, very nice. Okay, so we've talked about our kicking foot. Now we gotta worry about the other one, the base foot. We're switching back. Okay, so when I do a roundhouse kick, there's some variety as to what's right. I can have my toes point towards the chair. They can point backwards. They can be anywhere in the middle. Be a little crooked, that's fine. Depending on how flexible you are, your base foot will rotate. But in the very least, it has to point at least towards the chair when I turn it. If I don't turn it enough that it points to the chair, it puts pain into my knee, takes away power, leads to injury. No one wants that. So I'm a little bit more flexible than most people, right? So when I do my roundhouse kick, my foot's almost backwards. Toes are pointing over there. If yours are turned that far, that's fine. When you do the side kick, your heel always points where you're kicking. So my foot is completely backwards. All right, I'll show you that from the side so you'll get a better view of that. All right, so right now, you can see my foot. Move a couple inches so you can see it better. I go to kick. My foot is turning almost backwards because I'm pretty flexible, like I said. When I do my side kick, you can see this foot, toes are pointed that way. It's completely backwards. My heel is towards my target. That's what we want, okay? So that base foot position, really important, especially as you're getting more powerful, if you don't want to hurt yourself, right? Again, I'm a big fan of not hurting myself. I hope you are too, right? So, for this one, we'll hold for a second on each kick. We'll like a brief hold on a roundhouse kick, brief hold on our side kick. But I want you to check your base foot this time. If it's turned enough, good. Progress through. If you're finding that you're not turning it, maybe you want to go back and do that kick again, right? Maybe you get behind me, or you pause the video to be able to go back and redo it and get it correct. That's fine. What you don't want to do is do it wrong so you can keep up with me, right? That would be a mistake. All right, so we're in our fighting stance. You can see my front foot kind of points right towards my camera. I do my roundhouse kick. It's turned at least towards the chair. It's actually almost backwards already. And then I do my side kick. It's definitely backwards. I can see it. Hopefully you can look at your foot. Right? If you can't, it's kind of weird. Should be easy to see your foot, but that's okay. Ready? Roundhouse kick. Check the one on the floor. Yep, it's turned. Put it down. I do my side kick. Can look right down at it. It's backwards. Fantastic. All right. Let's go 3. Ready? Turn. Again, I can hold on to that chair for balance. Right? And I can kick. Make sure that base foot is turning. Right? If it's not turned properly, go back. Do it again. Don't accept a mediocre kick. Go do it again and again, because turning that base foot enough is so important for a powerful kick and a healthy kick. Ready? Kick. Check your toes. You can check both feet if you're fast enough. Oh yeah, that one's going backwards. That one's flexed. Good job. All right. One more time. Let's do it. Check my foot. Hopefully you are too. Checking my foot. All right. Very nice. So we did 5 on that side. If you aren't getting it, pause this. Do a few more at your own speed. There's no reason for you to try and keep up with me. I'll wait, but if you got it, we'll switch to the other side. Do the same thing. Make sure your foot is turning on the floor, right? So if you're doing your left leg roundhouse kick, toes pointing that way, probably at the chair or the table, couch, whatever you're using, right? I kick, I check my foot. It's pointed almost backwards because that's how I do my roundhouse kick. Do my side kick. My foot's backwards because that's the way everybody should do their side kick. Right? Let's go again. Ready? Roundhouse kick. Turn, put it down. Side kick. Good. Just like that. Those little things, man, make a huge difference. Ready? Roundhouse kick. Put it down. Side kick. Right, and what you're going to find is if you practice this and you pay attention to these little details now, your form is going to be so much better, because so often this mistake or this mistake in terms of your kicking foot, that's the thing that holds people back, right? We're working on developing our strength, our balance, our form, all the good stuff, all the reasons we kind of do forms. Ready? Turn and kick, pointed and turned, and then side kick, flexed and turned. All right, I think we got 2 more. You can do as many as you want, but I'm going to do 2 more. Ready? Turn, kick, in, kick. Make sure that foot is flexed. Okay. 1 more. Ready? Turn and kick. Bam. Put it down, side kick. Boom. Foot's backwards. Fantastic. All right, everybody. So, great job working on those little footwork details on your base foot, on your kicking foot. Practice as much as you need to, but for now, let's get moving on to the next part of class. All right, today we're going to do a quick review of some of our basic punches. After we do our quick review of basic punches, we're going to put them into a different move. To start off, we're in our fighting stance. We're going to do just a simple jab. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Switch, same basic idea. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Switch. Now, a couple things I want you to make sure you're doing. 1, make sure after you jab, you come back to like a normal fighting stance, not all the way together, and don't leave it far apart. Normal fighting stance is a good fighting stance for what we're doing. Also, keep your hand up. Right? This other hand staying up high, super important. Let's do a few jabs. Remember, hand up, step. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Switch your legs. I'm punching sideways so you get a different point of view, but you don't have to punch sideways, you can punch straight. Ready? And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, pretty simple. Let's switch it up to doing the cross. We're gonna twist and punch. Ready? 1, twist, come back. 2, 3, 4, 5. Switch it up, the same basic idea. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we're gonna work on a detail or two. I want you to focus on my back foot. You see how my heel pops up as I throw my cross? My weight is shifting forward. I also have to bend my front knee, right? We wanna make sure that this is a little bit bent. So this would be straight. A little bit bent is what we want. It's a lot safer, it gives us more power. So I want you to be aware of what your legs are doing as we do this cross. Twisting and bending. 1, 2, little bend is good. 3, not a big bend. 4, 5, good, and going the other way. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, moving ahead. We're gonna do a combination. We're gonna do a jab and a cross. Right? Let's do 5 on each side together. Ready? 1, jab, cross, reset. 2, 3, 4, 5. Good, and switch. Other side. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let's talk details. Now, most of the details are the same details that we had in the jab and the cross. Keep your hand up, step, things like that. There's one combination specific movement I want to make sure that we're doing correctly today, which is normally we do a jab and we reset. But when we do a jab cross, we do not reset. So it goes jab, then twist, then reset my feet. So you can see the difference between jab, reset, twist. Don't do that. It's jab, twist, then reset. See the difference? I hope you can, because that's one of the things we look for that you do properly as you do your punches. Let's do it. In our fighting stance, hands are up. Ready? 1, and come back. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we're going the other direction. Same basic idea. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that's just a quick basic review of our jabs and our crosses. Now I gotta spice things up. All right, so now we're gonna use our chair, right? And what we're gonna be doing is we're using our chair as kind of a stand-in for a target. If you have a heavy bag or a Wave Master and you wanna use that, great, it's fantastic, it'll be even better. But for most of us, we don't have that kind of equipment in our house. We have a chair, and the chair is just working as a target. You could put almost anything there, as long as it's about chair size, right? You could even put like a pillow on the floor and move towards that, punch towards that, whatever it is. But a chair, I find, is readily accessible and easily used. What you're gonna find is if I'm in a fighting stance, and I'm facing towards a chair, you can see I have one leg in front, my left leg is in front. As I move around this chair, and you and I can be able to see this right now, but my left leg is in front. As I move around the chair over here, my left leg is in front, right? And this whole time, I want you to watch my shoulders now. As I move, I kind of keep this hand towards the chair, right? You can see my left hand is always forward as I'm rotating around the chair. right? That's how we want to be able to move in a fighting stance. What a lot of people do is as they move around, they kind of like go this way, and we don't want that. That would be bad. Now, let's do some punches towards the chair. Don't hit the chair. Towards the chair does not mean punch the chair. I've had so many kids this week punching chairs. I mean, don't punch the chair. They're like, oh, that's right, you told me. Don't. All right, so if I'm in my fighting stance, we're going to just do some jabs. So we jab towards the chair, and then we move. Jab towards the chair, and you move. Now, you can see for me, the chair is low enough, jab, that I won't hit it. If your chair is too high, jab. Either because you're a little bit shorter than me, jab, or your chair is a little bit taller than mine. Let's go the other direction. Just stand far enough away that you can't hit it. Right? So like now I'm so far away I can't hit it. I can't hit the thing. Look how far out I am. Can't hit it. Right? Even if it was taller and or I was shorter. Right? But don't hit the chair is the big thing. Let's keep switching. Now what we're going to do this time is we're just going to keep moving and we're just doing like half circles. We're going halfway around, and then we're going halfway back. Right? As I'm doing this, you're going to punch when I say jab. Ready? Jab. Right? And you can switch directions whenever you want. Jab. And maybe you don't have quite enough room in your house, jab, to do the half circle, jab. Maybe you can only go like a quarter circle, right? You go this far, jab, and you go back. That's fine, jab, right? Jab. You can even do a full circle, but I don't really recommend it. Ready? Jab, because you can't see what I'm doing when you turn yourself completely around. Jab, and jab. Okay, that's pretty easy. And if you want to, you can even switch your legs whenever you want. I'm not going to do that because I want to make it consistent that you see. I always have that same leg in front. If you switch, you'd have to switch your legs. Now we're going to throw our cross. We're going to twist, and we come back. So as I circle, you can see I still have the same leg in front as I move around the chair. Boom. Other things we talked about with our punches are still important. Keep circling, keep punching, right? Bending your knee, turning your foot. We didn't forget about that stuff. That stuff didn't forget about us, right? And as a matter of fact, that's a big part of what we're working on here. It's actually easy to walk, right? Most of you are like, Sensei Jeff, I've been walking for years. Good. I'm glad you can walk. But the trick here is walking in a fighting stance and being ready to fire a punch or later on a kick whenever we need to / want to. That's kind of what we're working on. Good. Good. And stop. Okay. Now we're going to transition into throwing the jab cross combination. It's exactly the same as what we've been doing. If you feel like this is very easy for you, feel free to move a little bit faster, right? I'm kind of doing this at like slow speed, right? Where I'm just moving very slowly, small steps, throwing punches. If you're like, Sensei Jeff, I feel fast, I want to throw punches a little bit quicker, you can. Just maintain your stance. That's the big thing. I'd rather you do it slow and right than fast and wrong, right? Here we go. Jab cross. Go. Jab cross. And start to move. Jab cross. Start to move. Jab cross. And move. And again, you can switch directions. Jab cross. Whenever you want. Maybe you want to do it after a punch. Jab cross. And you keep switching every time I say jab cross. Right? Or maybe you just go all the way to one side. Jab cross. That's fine. Doesn't really matter. The important thing is that you're developing that ability to rotate around the target and throwing your strikes while maintaining your stance. Good. Jab cross. Good. Rotate. Jab cross. Rotate. Jab cross. And rotate. Jab cross. Okay. So final round. This time, I can mix it up. So I could say jab, or I could say cross, or I could say jab cross, or I could say jab, jab, cross. Whatever I say, you do, right? Do your punches. In our fighting stance, last punching round. Go, you move. Again, it doesn't matter which direction you're going. Jab, jab, cross. can switch directions whenever you want. Cross, jab, jab, cross, jab, cross. Keep moving. Jab, cross, jab. Ooh. Jab, jab. That's 2 jabs. Jab, cross. Jab, jab, cross. Ooh. There's some footwork there. If you don't know, don't worry about it. And jab, cross. Jab. Cross. Cross. Good. Jab, cross. Jab, cross. Jab. Jab. Jab, cross. All right. So that's a really basic drill for being able to circle around a target, still throw our strikes. So we've done some punches towards the chair. What we're going to do today now is we're going to start to expand the options that we have to us. And we're going to do some of our striking combinations instead of just our punches toward the chair. Now, as you're doing this, you want to be much more aware of your range and how far you travel towards your target as you do your combination. Because what you're going to find is you cover quite a bit of ground, especially in these long-range combinations. And if you kick the chair, it feels bad. Now, if you're kicking a target at home, like you have your own wave mast or a heavy bag, again, you've got to be aware of your range, so your last strike makes contact, or in the case of the chair, your last strike doesn't make contact. And what that's going to mean is you're going to take a much larger circle. Right? So normally, if we were just doing punches, I can stand this close and I can take this small of a step, and I still don't hit with my punch. However, if I start throwing kicks, ow, everybody loses. So we want to be aware of our range and make sure we're staying farther and farther away. This is particularly useful if you're sparring and you're used to sparring against people who are maybe quite a bit taller than you, and you want to stay away from them until you decide to get inside on them. Right? So with that being said, let's get going. Right? So we're in our fighting stance. We're going to start circling. Let's just try and be in a pretty distant circle. You can see I'm like at a camera. I got to be so far away to be able to set up these long-range combinations as they get off to the edges. Right? So we're just circling, right? Circling, circling, circling. And from here, we're going to start throwing our combination. So we'll start off with the jab and front kick combination. Jab, front kick, hop, step, front kick, regular front kick. I got pretty close and I'm going back to circling. Right? Again, go jab, front, hop, step, front, regular front, and start circling. Right? And this is going to challenge you, and go ahead and throw your combination, to learn the range of your strikes and be able to say like, oh man, I got to be this far away to be able to miss, which means I've got to be a little bit closer to be able to hit. Go. Good. Now, for this one, you can also switch your legs whenever you'd like, because this is generally for a little bit more advanced students. Ready? So here, 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 here. Good. Keep circling. Maybe I'm all the way over on the side. Maybe I'm going to switch my legs now just because I want to mix it up. I'm a little close on this one. Yeah, I was not quite as far away as I needed to be. I had to kick around the chair. Good. Keep circling. Playing with your range. Don't hit the chair. Go. Okay. For the next combination, especially if you're throwing the spinning back side kick, you've got to be very aware of your range. The good thing is, if you hit with the bottom of your foot on a back step side kick, it doesn't hurt your foot all that much. If it hurts the chair, it can hurt your house. So, be careful with that one. We're in our fighting stance. Start circling. All right, maybe like, oh, I don't know how far I'm going to be able to reach, how far away I need to be. That's what this exercise is all about. Go cross, roundhouse, side kick, spinning back side kick. That was pretty close. Pretty close. It was just about the right range. I switched my legs when I did my combination. You don't have to. Go. Cross, round, side, and woo. Just about the right range. Good. I switched my legs again, but again, you don't have to. Go. All right, so you're throwing your combination. one of the things that impacts your range, good, keep circling, is where you put down your side kick, right? So if I do my side kick and I put it way out, I'm gonna have to be much farther away. If I put it down very close, it gives me more room, right? So you can play with that. Good, keep circling. Ready? Throw your combination here, here, where you put your foot down. It's gonna make a big difference on your range. Good, keep circling. Go. So from here, maybe I'm gonna plant my leg out farther and you can see, oh, now I'm hitting the chair, right? See the difference that makes. Keep circling. And combo 2, go. Good, keep circling. Now, what we're gonna do this time, keep moving, is I'll say combo 1 or combo 2. And you do whichever one is, right? Combo 1, combo 2. Combo 1 is the one with the front kicks. 2 is the one with the side kicks. 1. Good, back and circle. Stay at range, don't hit the chair, it's important. Combo 2. Good, back to circling. And again, you can switch your legs whenever you want. This is mostly about range, a little bit about movement, and maintaining your range while you do your movement. Good. And combo 1. Got a little close, a little close. Combo 2. Good. All right, and you can play with this as much as you want. All right, it's a good challenge for you. You can circle as much as you want. But for now, we'll call it there. Let's get moving on to the next part of class. So often at the start of class, we do some leg stretching. And leg stretching is great for preventing injuries. At the end of the class, when you're warmed up, that's a great time to improve your range of motion. So you can kick higher and things like that. To do it today, we're gonna need one of these. Right? You can use a belt, any real belt will work. You can use a strap for yoga, all sorts of things. I'm going to show you really quick the 4 stretches and kind of the hand positions to holding it, and then we'll do them. First stretch is a straight hamstring stretch. You loop your foot through, right? You come back onto your back with your head and shoulders on the floor, and then you just kind of pull this in. Okay, now the trick to this one, you can do 2 hands, you can do 1 hand, doesn't really matter. Keep your shoulders and your head relaxed. If you want to make it more intense, you straighten out your bottom leg. You feel like that is a little bit more engaging. But for most people, right here is probably where you're going to start. The next stretch that we're going to do, we're going to keep this same position, but what we're going to do is we're going to have our cross reach. So if I'm holding it with my right hand, I'm grabbing with my left hand. I'm going to put my left hand behind my head, kind of like I'm sleeping on it. I'm going to let my leg drift off to the side, and I'm going to extend my other leg just like this. I'm going to show you what this looks like from the top. I'm here, I have this position. I take this arm, put it underneath my head like I'm sleeping on it, bring this off to the side, and extend my leg out. You're going to feel this more on the inner thigh. All right? Now, next stretch. All we're going to do is we're going to take this, bring it up. We're going to switch to the other hand. Oh, right over here. You're going to feel this more on the outer part of your thigh, and it is magical, right? You can see I'm bringing this over my opposite shoulder. You're going to feel this kind of more in your IT band, right? Last stretch we're going to do, I come back, I'm holding, just like we did in the first stretch. I've got my right hand gripping. If my right leg is looped in, I'm going to roll to my left. Put my right hand kind of like I'm holding it over my shoulder like this, and now I'm ready to work on the front of my hamstring. I'm going to give you another point of view on this one. So if I'm here, I'm on my back, I've got it in my right hand. If I've got the right foot looped, I'm going to roll to my left, put this behind my back, just like this. Okay, so those are the 4 stretches that we're going to do. We're going to do them for 30 seconds on each side, right? This is a great way to improve your flexibility. If you wanted to, you could repeat this to a second set, and you'll really really benefit from that. All right, so we're going to our first position, which is, we've got the foot looped, our right foot looped. Ready? Let's get my timer going so we don't do this for an hour. Ready, and go. Now, if you're doing this, the key that we said before, it's still the key now, keep your head, shoulders on the floor. Now, if you're practicing by yourself and you don't have a timer, maybe you're doing a second set after this, I recommend, instead of using a timer, doing a number of breaths. Take like 10 deep breaths. Ooh, that's a good one. Couple more seconds here, just relax into the stretch. Okay, from here, we're gonna let our right foot drop off to our right as our left hand goes behind our head. Then we get our left leg extended, we're all stretched out, oh, and we go for 30 seconds. Now if you want to, you can actually look to your left, you get a little extra into it, but that's not really necessary. Just a bonus to the stretch. You should feel it kind of here in the inner thigh. Some people will feel this one a lot, some people not so much, but that's okay. It's good for your roundhouse kicks and your side kicks. And if you want to make it more intense, pull your foot up higher, closer to your shoulder. Whew. Good, and release. Okay, we're gonna bring it back up. We're gonna bend this leg again, and now we're gonna bring it over the opposite hip. Put this behind my head, oh mama, right there. Okay, I feel this one, and this is kind of my tight stretch. Just gonna breathe into it. Try and force yourself to relax your upper body. You want to feel this on the outside edge of your hamstring. Oh, this is a good one. And relax. My timer didn't set off properly. That's okay. That's probably long enough. From here, I'm going to roll over onto my left as I loop it over my shoulder. And now we're stretching out more in the front of your leg. Now for this one, a nice trick is to bend your bottom leg a little bit. Oh, adds a little flavor. Try and relax. As always with a stretch, relaxation is the trick. Good neutral spine here. Try not to let your back curl. Good, okay. So we got our first leg done. We can switch our other foot in there. Do the same basic idea. All right, get yourself in position and go. Now this leg, I actually feel this one a little bit because I wasn't properly warmed up when I did a demonstration the other day, so I'm a little bit tight on this side. And that's okay. You gotta listen to your body. And remember the lesson. So, oh yeah. Make sure I properly warm up before I do a demonstration so I don't feel that little bark in my hamstring. Good. Okay, so now from here, we're going to let that left leg go off to our left. Extend our leg and go into your stretch. Probably need to set off my timer properly though. And again, if you want to make this more impactful, you just bring your leg up this way a little bit. Oh, and you'll be like, oh yeah, I feel that more and more now. The other thing you try and make sure you do is try and flatten out the far side. So my right hip, I've got to try and get that side of my body to stay on the floor. I don't want to roll over like this. Keep my body down. Both shoulders flat on the floor. Relaxing into the stretch. Okay, so now we've got that third stretch where we're going to bring it back up. Now for this one, I'm going to give myself a little bit of slack because, as I mentioned, this is my tight stretch, and this happens to be my tight leg today. So I want to be able to relax into this, not force myself into it. You can use your other hand to just kind of pull it a little bit if you want. Not necessary, but sometimes desirable. Good, that's 30 of that one. Now we've got our hitchhiker stretch. We're gonna grab it with our left hand. If you've got your left foot in there, roll onto your back, and let's do it. Now, one thing you might notice here is I'm keeping my foot behind my behind. I don't want it to twist up like this. That's a bad thing. I want to keep that good alignment so I don't put pressure into my knee. Good, and release. Okay, so what I would recommend to you is go ahead and do those again by yourself without having to watch me, and just try your best to do those stretches for, again, another 30 seconds. You could use some kind of a timer, or just use the breath technique of take 10 deep breaths and you'll have stretched probably from longer than 30 seconds. Really loosen up and benefit for the next time you're in class, have that better range of motion. All right, everybody, great job today. Look forward to seeing you soon.